Imagine a single moment, a spark in a silent laboratory, that would ripple across decades, forever altering the course of human consciousness. This isn't just the story of a drug, it's the story of a revolution. When Swiss chemist Albert Hofmann stumbled upon LSD, he unlocked a force so potent that a mere speck could shatter the boundaries of perception, unleashing visions, fears, and wonders beyond imagination. In an instant, LSD exploded into the world, transforming psychiatry, electrifying the minds of artists, and fueling a cultural uprising that dared to question the very fabric of reality. This is the tale of an accidental trip that sent shockwaves through history, a journey that still echoes today, challenging us to rethink what it means to be human. In 1940s, Basel, Albert Hofmann, a chemist at Sandoz, was fascinated by ergot, a fungus both feared and revered. He isolated ergot's compounds, creating LSD-25 in 1938. Initial tests were inconclusive, so LSD-25 was shelved and forgotten. But sometimes breakthroughs come from chance. LSD's story, and the world, was about to change forever. On April 16, 1943, Hofmann returned to LSD-25, driven by a peculiar hunch. He resynthesized the compound, and during purification, began to feel strange. Dizziness, restlessness, and a dreamlike state overtook him. He went home, lay down, and experienced a cascade of vivid, kaleidoscopic images. This was unlike anything he'd known. After 2 hours, the effects faded, leaving him puzzled. Hofmann suspected he'd absorbed a trace of LSD through his skin. He documented the experience meticulously in his lab notes. This was the first recorded human encounter with LSD. The mystery demanded investigation. Was LSD-25 truly responsible? Hofmann decided to test it on himself. Deliberately this time, he chose what he thought was a minuscule dose, 250 micrograms. Unbeknownst to him, this was a massive amount for such a potent substance. The stage was set for a historic experiment. Hofmann's scientific curiosity outweighed his caution. He was about to step into the unknown. The world's first intentional LSD trip was about to unfold. Sometimes, science advances not by careful planning, but by bold leaps into the unknown. Hofmann's decision would change the course of history. The next few hours would become legendary. April 19, 1943, Bicycle Day. Hofmann ingested 250 micrograms of LSD. He expected mild effects, but within 40 minutes, reality unraveled. Dizziness, anxiety, and visual distortions overwhelmed him. The lab became unrecognizable, objects twisted and threatened. Hofmann asked his assistant to take him home by bicycle due to wartime restrictions. The ride became legendary. Streets warped, time stretched, and panic set in. At home, the world grew even stranger. Furniture menaced, faces transformed. Terrified, Hofmann called a doctor, who found nothing physically wrong except dilated pupils. Relief followed as the effects waned, replaced by awe and wonder. Vivid, swirling images filled his mind, exploding in color and form. By morning he felt renewed, as if reborn. Hofmann realized LSD was an incredibly powerful psychoactive substance. Bicycle Day marked the first intentional LSD trip. A door to new realms of consciousness. The experience was both terrifying and enlightening. Hofmann's journey revealed the mind's hidden landscapes. The world had changed, and so had he. LSD's power was undeniable. The implications were vast. A new era in the exploration of consciousness had begun. The accidental chemist had become a pioneer. The story of LSD was now unstoppable. The world would never see reality the same way again. Bicycle Day became a symbol of discovery and transformation. The door to the unknown had been flung open. After Hofmann's revelations, Sandoz Laboratories offered LSD, now called Delicid, to psychiatrists. Researchers hoped it could unlock the mind's secrets, perhaps even help treat mental illness. Early studies in the 1950s showed promised breakthroughs with alcoholism, depression, and anxiety. Thousands of papers were published. Some saw LSD as a tool for therapy, others as a path to spiritual insight. Dr. Humphrey Osmond coined the term psychedelic, capturing LSD's mind-manifesting potential. But not all interest was benign. The CIA saw LSD as a possible tool for mind control, launching the infamous MKUltra experiments. Unethical tests on unwitting subjects cast a shadow over LSD's reputation. Despite this, legitimate research continued, exploring creativity, addiction, and end-of-life anxiety. The early years were filled with hope and controversy. LSD seemed to offer new ways to heal and understand the mind. But the cultural landscape was shifting and storm clouds were gathering. LSD escaped the lab and captured the 1960s counterculture. Timothy Leary urged people to turn on, tune in, drop out. Artists, musicians, and writers embraced LSD, fueling psychedelic art and music. But uncontrolled use led to bad trips and media panic. Authorities cracked down, and the era of open exploration ended. The psychedelic revolution had come at a cost. The 1960s LSD explosion sparked a moral panic. Media stories of acid casualties and psychosis dominated headlines. LSD was recast as a threat to youth and social order. Governments responded swiftly. Sandoz stopped production, and California banned LSD in 1966. The U.S. soon classified it as a Schedule I drug, halting almost all research. The war on drugs, launched by President Nixon, targeted psychedelics as symbols of rebellion. Scientific optimism was drowned out by fear and condemnation. Promising research was abandoned, LSD was pushed underground. The drug's image became one of danger and stigma. Scientists and users alike faced hostility and suspicion. Albert Hofmann lamented the loss, calling LSD his problem child. He believed in its potential, but misuse had led to prohibition. The door to psychedelic research was slammed shut. The consequences rippled through science and society. The criminalization of LSD created a black market and silenced inquiry. For decades, any discussion of its benefits was taboo. The narrative of danger became deeply entrenched. The world turned its back on LSD's promise. The story seemed over, but it was only paused. The next chapter would take years to begin. For decades, LSD research was dormant. Stigma and regulation kept it in the shadows. But by the late 20th and early 21st centuries, attitudes began to shift. A new generation of scientists, armed with modern tools, revisited psychedelics' potential. Carefully controlled studies explored LSD for anxiety, depression, PTSD, and addiction. Early results were promising. LSD in supportive settings helped patients find peace and new perspectives. Organizations like MAPS and the Hefter Institute led the way, funding research and navigating regulations. Modern studies emphasize safety, ethics, and the importance of set and setting. Psychedelic therapy now involves preparation, supervised sessions, and integration. Brain imaging revealed LSD's effects on the default mode network, disrupting rigid thought patterns. This may help people break free from negative thinking. The evidence is still emerging, but excitement is growing. The medical community and public are taking notice. LSD's comeback is cautious but hopeful. The mistakes of the past inform today's careful approach. The psychedelic renaissance is underway. LSD's story is being rewritten, this time, with science and responsibility. The potential for healing is real. The journey from prohibition to possibility is remarkable. The world is watching and learning. The future of LSD in medicine is still unfolding. The lessons of history guide the way. The stigma is fading, replaced by curiosity. The door to discovery is open once more. LSD's renaissance is just beginning. LSD's journey is extraordinary. Accidental discovery, psychiatric tool, countercultural icon, banned substance, and now, a subject of renewed research. Its impact on science, medicine, and culture is undeniable. LSD forced us to confront the link between brain chemistry and consciousness. Its legacy is complex, immense promise, profound misuse, and overreaction. Today, we have a chance to approach LSD with wisdom, learning from past mistakes. Rigorous research and ethical exploration are key. But challenges remain: regulation, skepticism, and the risk of misuse. LSD reminds us that discoveries can have far-reaching, unintended consequences. It highlights the need for responsible stewardship of powerful tools. Our fascination with consciousness endures. LSD showed that reality is not fixed. There are other ways of seeing. As research continues, new possibilities for healing and insight may emerge. LSD's future is uncertain. Medicine, inspiration, or enigma? The story is far from over. The journey of this molecule, born from a humble fungus, continues. What other secrets await discovery, and how will we choose to engage with them? Thank you so much for joining us on this fascinating journey. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to our channel. We truly appreciate your support, and we can't wait to explore more incredible stories with you next time. Until then, take care and stay curious.